Welcome back, everyone, to the Song of Waves and Wind, where we are back now, and we have received a summons from Jais, who is the guard outside of the Darlaja. Hello there.
A number of unusual folk were looking for you. I trust they were friends of yours?
Yes, there were some elves there, a dwarf, and a few others I deemed to be travelers from Gondor. I trust they are friends of yours. They asked if I had seen you of late, and when to be told them you often have business here in the meeting hall of Darlaja, they gave me a message to pass on to you. No. Yes, I recall the words. Fear not. They said they have engaged the services of a merchant vessel and plan to return with their own lands, but they wish to bid you farewell before they depart. They asked for me to send you on to them at the sail haven by the beacon gate on to the west side of the city. They assured me that they would not leave until you spoke with them, but the honor of my station begs that you will not delay. All right, very well. I will head off and find out what my friends have to say. Ah, there they are. Or at least that's Lady Nerniel. Hello there.
There you are.
I was not certain that the guard posted at the meeting hall would give you the message on time, but it seems that he proved worthy. I'm surprised. Still, I welcome it. Has my mood been lightened by our success? How could it not be? The purpose that brought us here to these shores has been satisfied. My son Thorongil has been rescued from the clutches of the kindred of the coins, and we must go now to the green hills of Penethgalen. My husband, Carandolion, will be pleased to see his son's safe return and his wife's triumph. Yes, I said triumph, though my vengeance is incomplete and those responsible for the hurts done to my family remain unpunished. The elf warrior Siglet advised me to set aside my desire for vengeance, and while I refused to do so forever, I told her that I would not delay returning my son to his home to achieve it. But that was not all. I enlisted her promise not to forget the injustices done to my family, and if she has the opportunity to make hated Nakasi pay for them, she will do so. I have only known Siglet for a short time, but I believe that she will do as I have requested. It's only this that allows me to leave behind this city and its treacherous rulers. Oh boy. She's not happy, that's for sure. Well, what do you say about that, Thorongil? We're leaving Pineleaf, and it is just as well. Ever since Osgod Sea Shadow and Nakasi Wave Reaper fled from the Citadel of the Winds, I have been itching to return home and tell Orgolas and all of my friends about the adventures I've had since coming here. They will not believe me, of course, but perhaps when you come back to Penethgalen, you will tell them that it is all true. They would be astonished. Oh, my mother refuses to tell me much about what befell your own ship when it ran aground upon the Shield Isles, as was journeyed to Umbar, but I overheard the captain of the vessel that we are taking back to Gondor discussing the voyage ahead. He believes that the currents and the winds will be favorable, and the journey should not take very long or be very dangerous. I hope you good weather, that's for sure. That is a shame. I imagine being shipwrecked can be pretty exciting, and I would like to see it for myself, just once. Ah, Thorongil. Let's see what Nimrodale has to say.
It is time for me to return to the caves of the Arboretum in Belfalas.
I have made a decision, Pineleaf. I will bring my people from the cavern that has been my home, and we will no longer mourn, but rejoice in the light of the sun and the feel of the breeze. Perhaps by the time that we arrive, I'll be ready for this, my friend. It is one thing to speak of, and another to see it done. But that is the wish of my heart. Lothriel will help me in this. I am certain of it. A number of your friends has agreed to escort me home. I hope you'll forgive my taking them from you. I presume you mean Gimli and Legolas. With solemn reverence, Nimrodil's chosen bodyguard salute you. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I should salute Legolas in return?
Queen Arwen and King Elisar would never forgive us if we allowed any harm to befall Nimrodel during her journey.
I volunteered at once to accompany Nimrodel, of course, but to my surprise, Gimli had also asked to come along. I'm glad of it, but his reasoning is clouded to me. He wants to hear from Nimrodel about the caves for which her people dwell, for some project of which he wishes to set to mind. Is this related to the glittering cave somehow? The thinking of dwarves is beyond me, Pineleaf, and I'm happy for his company all the same. All right, well, maybe Gimli could shed some light on this.
I do not know why Legolas is so surprised.
Why is he surprised that I wish to accompany him as he escorts Nimrodel back home? I have been moved by what she has shared of her story, and it brings to my mind some of the greatest love stories ever told among the dwarves of Durin's folk. Beautiful tales, lovely and sad. Yeah. Legolas and I vowed to travel with each other to see places dear to each of us. For me, the glittering caves, and for the forest of Fanghorn, for him. Then to compare the relative beauties of each. I should fear to let him out of my sight, lest he forget this promise. Yeah, but of course, I would feel more at ease if Nimrodel was protected by the axe of a hailed dwarf warrior. She reminds me of the Lady Galadriel, and I would see no harm come to her. And actually, wasn't Nimrodel once the Lady of the Wood? It is a possibility, so I guess in some ways could remind her of Galadriel. Well, let's see what Sirgon has to say.
Oh, I am not leaving with them. I feel that I still have work to do here.
I would appreciate your continued help. Together, I hope that we'll ease the tensions between Gondor and Umbar, and further the cause of peace between King Elisar and the kindred of the coins. All right, that's good.
We will begin today, if you are willing.
When you have bid farewell to the crew of the Wave Hunter and your other friends, there is something that I must ask of you. Belandor desires to meet with the two of us in the Citadel of the Winds. Better to discuss our next course of action. Okay. Well, what about Siglith and Gordon?
Your friends will be safe on their journey back to Gondor. I doubt it not.
It is my belief and my sister's that we remain closer to danger than they. We have achieved a tenuous peace with those who rule Umbar, for now, but we should not forget that the kindred of the coins may have secret purposes of its own. Azagat kept the evil in his heart hidden from those with whom he ruled the city. Might the members of the kindred who remain act similarly? Siglith and I have decided to stay in Umbar and help you in the days to come. But heed our words now. Remain cautious when you speak with the kindred of the coins. The gravest threat among their number may have fled the city, but I believe that those who remain could still pose a danger to you and to Gondor. All right. And what does Siglith have to say?
It is true. I caution Nariel against pursuing her vengeance against the kindred.
It was the less than a cruel dancer who was once Galatani that caused me to speak such words to Noriel. If she followed the road of vengeance to its end, as did Galatani, would she return from it? Or would the road curve and bend, with retribution following her back to Peneth Gelen? I don't remember the name of Noriel's husband, but if she achieves her vengeance, would it stop there, or would it be endangered? Their son, too, for whom this was done, would he be threatened anew? The lesson of Cruel Dancer inspired me to steer Noriel from this course. I have accepted the burden of vengeance on her behalf. She has my promise that my sword, Baglitir, will seek the blood of Azagat Sea Shadow and Nakasi Wave Reaper. All right. Very well. Well then, Sirgon, what do you say?
Are you ready to go? Let us meet with Belondor about what awaits Gondor and Umbar in the days ahead.
Belondor has invited us to the Citadel of the Winds and assured us of safe passage there. Good. I certainly don't want to run into any real big troubles over there.
Belondor wishes to discuss with us what the future may hold for Gondor and for Umbar.
How many hallways and staircases must we take to arrive to our destination, Pineleaf? I have already lost the path back to the entrance, despite my best efforts to remember it. What must the kindred say to us that they cannot say at the Darlaja, or in the main hall of the Citadel? Well, I guess we're about to find out.
This way, please.
All right. There. Here. Ah.
Your guests have arrived, Lady Armelach.
Hello. I am pleased the two of you accepted our invitation to meet. We have much to discuss about the days ahead, and I believe the decisions that we make here today may affect the fortunes of both Umbar and Gondor. The people welcomed my kindred with glad hearts, and cheered as we cast off the yoke placed upon their city by the empire of Ordach and the heirs of Castamir. But such a change was not without cost, and the coffers of the city are at a low ebb. I have contributed much of my own fortune to this effort, but even my own great wealth cannot support the city indefinitely. War is expensive. Our wish is to spend no further, unless we must. How does Gondor feel about this matter? Does this King Elessar desire peace? He must know the corsairs of Umbar retain ships enough to make him suffer for any war that he begins anew.
King Elessar desires peace. I know it will be so.
Peace may be the friend of cowards. You must respect the might of Umbar.
Are not some battles won or lost before they are ever fought, Rothog?
What? No?
Guardsman, I must ask that you leave us.
Huh?
Are you certain, my lady? These outsiders may try to harm you.
With Rothog here, I do not think we need worry.
Very well, my lords and lady.
All right.
Now there are fewer ears to hear what you have to say, Armelach. I must once again voice my dissent. These are kindred matters.
Your objection is noted, Holtec. Before we discuss our next move, we must speak of the past.
The past. All right. How far in the past? The Empire of Vorach and the Church of the All-Seeing held Umbar in the grip of fear, while the heirs of Castamir carried out their commands. But that fear was founded upon the terror of the Dark Lord and his powerful servants. When the great quake sundered this land, and Mordor was caused to collapse of his temple, We who watched and waited knew that our time had come. The number of our conspiracy was few, but we believed that the people would join us when they witnessed the vulnerability of the Empire. And now near the heirs of Castamere were to defeat. When no vengeful wraith emerged from the ruins of the temple or swept towards us from Mordor, the people knew that Umbar could be theirs again. With the fleet from the south, Osgiliath's sea shadows swept into the Gulf of Umbar. It was poorly defended now, with much of its power gone to the coast of Gondor, captured or burned. The Umbari rose up in open revolt, thus beginning the Sea Stone Mutiny. Those of the heirs who resisted were slain without mercy. Others either lacked courage or possessed wisdom and fled. Some of these were Saclafel, the widow of Balakor the Scourge, and a number of her personal guards. It is believed that she hides now amongst the Shield Isles and seeks to retake the city and her husband's rule, as she has not the numbers. Not all of the heirs were slain or escaped. Before he could take command of a ship and flee to Sailhaven, our forces captured Balahad, the 20-year-old son of Balakor. We held him here in the Citadel of the Winds, in his tower room, and counted him a valuable hostage. I notice the past tense there.
Why have you not ransomed the son of Balakor to his mother Saclafel? Could that not end the threat posed by the heirs of Castamere?
That was the idea.
Mere weeks ago, Balakad disappeared.
Balakad disappeared. Only members of the Kindred of the Coins knew the identity of the man who was kept in this room, Pineleaf. Even the guards didn't know. They were told that he was awaiting execution for crimes against the city. Their loyalty to the Kindred cannot be questioned. One day, Balakad was safely imprisoned, as he had been for months, and then one day he was not. If the guards can be trusted, how did Balakad leave his tower room without being seen? The problem is more difficult than that, for the Citadel of the Wind stands upon an island. Could he escape onto one of the ships and flee that way? It is hard to imagine, but neither could he walk past many guards posted on the island and then across the bridge back to the city without being seen. He's not the only person who seems to have disappeared that day. One of Osgiliath's servants, a water carrier by the name of Sarduch, cannot be found. Did he help Balakad escape? If so, where might he have hidden the son of Balakor now? If beggars believe that such an important figure as the for the Airshorn can remain hidden for so long. Okay, so one of Osgiliath's servants disappeared on the same day as that. Oh yeah, that's really telling. Maybe they switched places or something? I don't know how well they knew the servant.
It may be happenstance. Umbar Mok can be a dangerous place.
Who said anything about Umbar Mok?
Where else might Balakad have vanished from sight?
Sarduch served Azogars. It may be he spirited Balakad out of the city, and now seeks to rejoin his master.
Well, that's another possibility. Osgiliath hid his true nature from us. None suspected his true allegiance lay with Sauron, and now he seeks to follow the map that he took from the Magdakorbo to some unknown end. I say that we cannot know his purpose in this, but can there be any doubt that such a map can lead only to sorrow for the people of Umbar Baharbel? There was a time when the Kasi Wave Reaper would not have followed Osgiliath on such an adventure, but I deem her mind is now clouded by the grief and rage that swirls within her breast. If the map taken by the two of them leads to some weapon of evil, can you say for certain that it would not be used first against Umbar and then against Gondor? I would say most likely that would happen. I see two important purposes along the road ahead. First, we must prevent Azagoth and Nikasi from locating the evil that they seek. Secondly, we must find Balahad, son of Balahor, and make him once again our captive. Only then will we reacquire our bargaining power over Sakafel and the heirs of Castamir. These twin courses must bring the instruments of our will out of the city and into the wildlands on the east and south. Okay.
A small company must prevent Azagoth and Nikasi from finding the evil they seek. Who will volunteer for this adventure?
My business with the traitor Azagoth is still undone. I will accompany you, old friend. What say you?
Oh, well, I guess...
Could use your courage and your skill on this adventure.
Well, since that's the entire purpose of this expansion pack, I guess I should. Are you with me? Yes, of course. I didn't doubt it for a moment, friend. I dare say that the elves will also wish to accompany us. I met each of them only days or weeks ago, but already I know them to be strong and capable, each in their own way. And I witnessed Siglet's great courage when fortune ill and storm unnatural threw the wave hunter on to the rocks on the Shield Isles. Who else will accompany us?
If Harmalak believes you can manage the rule of the city without us, I will join the pursuit of Azagoth.
I am more than capable of it, Kingsman Koltek.
I would like to test my Kolpeshes against these foes that claim to be friends.
Then the traveling company is set, and the quest is laid before you.
Wonderful. Much will depend upon how well you perform upon this adventure, Pineleaf. I have not forgotten that the people of my city think highly of you, and believe you should join in our kindred. Let this quest serve as your trial, with Rothog, Belondor, and Koltek to serve as your judges. They will assess your performance and how you conduct yourself on behalf of our shared interests, those of Umbar and those of distant Gondor. Prevent Azagoth and Nikasi from following their map to whatever evil Sauron left behind, and making use of it against us. So too, should you seek Azagoth's former servant, Sarduch, if he seeks to rejoin his master. He may tell you what he has done with Balahad, son of Balahor the Scourge. If you can recover Balahad alive, we may be able to end the threat posed by the heirs of Castamir forever, and that will be of benefit not just to Umbar, but to Gondor as well. The lands outside the city contain perils and dangers, the like of which few among you have ever faced. If you take some time to prepare the caravan, that will take you out of Umbar and into the lands where the prey has vanished. Come to Darlaja after this, and we will make such preparations as you will need. All right. So what's the next move? Oh, what is their answer?
Near Harad. I know very little of these lands, but I will not turn away from the mission that awaits us.
If the capture of Azagoth and Nikasi will help maintain the peace between Gondor and Umbar, I will pursue them to lands both distant and dangerous, no matter how far the chase takes us from the sea where my breast dwells, heart, or from my home and family in Lebanon. All right?
Hammerlock spoke of the need for many preparations before our traveling party can depart.
I hope that these preparations will not take too long before we are ready to leave. Every day wasted means that our quarry will get further and further ahead, calling into question the success of our pursuit. Go to the meeting hall of Darlaja and urge them to hurry. You may be able to speed their preparations if you offer your assistance. Of course! What else is new? And what are these preparations? I guess we are going to find that out in the next episode of The Song of Waves and Wind.